Yo, what is up? It's been a minute. I'm laughing because I just shaved my face. My voice is a little messed up because I've been kind of sick. I took off work today. I also was laughing because my freaking forehead and hairline, like, why is it a slope? You can, I got like a Y equals MX plus B ass forehead, which is crazy. But oh man, I sound bad. But yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 months since I made a video on here. Bro, I look chopped. I literally have like a round. My cat also just meowed. I don't know. I'm nervous. I haven't done this in a minute. Damn it. I love how I hit record and then it's like the whole cat in the universe and shit be like, hey, everybody, Noah, party at Noah's house, you know? I've just been living life. I know it's been a minute. I think the last thing I had did was like 3 or 4 months ago. I'm just gonna do like a recap video for what that's worth, even though I think I've lost a couple subscribers. And if you're still here, you a real one. I'm gonna drink whenever I get a little bit better, I'm gonna have a glass of scotch on you. That sounded crazy, platonically, but yeah, I've been playing a lot of video games. I've been like Oblivion. I've been playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I'm a Nord character, so I'm like a Viking. So I love cold weather. I'm really tall in the game, not in real life. I'm kind of like a spell sword. Like I cast spells and then I hit people with a sword, and that's like my destruction skill's really high. And I try to kind of like RP. Like I tried to roleplay it as a vampire, but I missed watching the sun come up, so then I had to cure my vampirism. But I've been doing I got back into yoga. I do yoga almost every day. I used to do that shit like a long time ago, and then I stopped because I was living my life and working, aka not living life. But and I still work, but I got back into it. So now I'm just getting real stretchy and shit and real elastic. Not like the Incredibles, but I wish. But yeah, so like I also still read if anybody watches this anymore. I've done some arts and crafts. I'll show you this real quick. I made a mixed media collage. I'm about to digitize it probably. It's kind of ass, but here. Oh, that's really hard to read, and there's a glare. Let me push this book over a little bit. Yeah, just like some simple stuff. I don't know what this little fairy dude is. Yeah, they kind of crazy looking, but hey, why is my camera not focusing? Magic. But yeah, so I've been just doing like random crap, and my cats are about to get on this desk and act crazy. Yeah, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. This is my library hold, and this is like a really popular fantasy book, or was popular. I don't know if it's popular at this moment in time at 2:03 p.m. on a Wednesday, but it is it's Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a library hold. I've never read it. I watched a podcast or listened to a podcast recently where the two people were just like, yeah, like this book isn't like super exciting, which is like, hear me out. But like it's just a book that's very slow paced, and it's kind of just like, yeah, the protagonist does this and does that, and you might sit there and ask like, what are we gonna do with this info? But the point of it is like you don't actually do anything with it. He's just like, it's like a journal. He's like there's some dude named the Chronicler or some shit like that, like crazy ass name. But yeah, I don't know. I like to go into books blind, which makes for terrible videos because I don't have anything to say about said book I put up on the camera. But yeah, no, I fuck with the cover. Sorry for my language. I used to be a little bit more buttoned up on YouTube, especially when making videos, but I'm also like, dog, I don't care. One of my biggest inspirations is Big Nate from Big Nate's Book Reviews, and he just be like talking. And so I'm just going to do that. This last semester at college, the big college, you know, I was in a Shakespeare class. Sorry, I looked at my cat. I was in a Shakespeare class where we read a bunch of Shakespeare plays. Crazy, I know, but they were really cool. It was like there is like this weird language barrier because obviously it's been like 400 or 500 years or something like that. And they didn't have emojis and shit back then, so like that was a terrible joke. But yeah, I read The Winter's Tale, As You Like It, Macbeth, or no, I didn't read Macbeth, but I have read Macbeth. King Lear, Hamlet. King Lear and Hamlet were probably my two favorites. Oh, and Anthony and Cleopatra. She dead, but she bad as hell. But like BADD, nah, that's like crush. Anybody who like dies by snake is kind of a real one. But yeah, I have never read this actually, but this is Romeo and Juliet. Romeo is kind of a crazy name if you think about it. Like, pretty sure dude was like Romeo. Like, that's crazy. I've never actually seen a play of Romeo and Juliet, nor have I read the play. I gotta be Englished over here. This is a random one inspired by my reading of Richard, or not Richard. I have read Richard II, but this is like secondary material to Henry VI, Part 1, and that is battle. Damn, that I always forget the glare on here is terrible. I need to do something about that. Is Hugh's Battle Royale. This is about like a bunch of the families during Henry VI's time, like the House of Lancaster and I think the House of Beaufort, House of York, things of that nature. I thought it was. I've only read like a quarter of it. Apparently, Henry VI. I guess the kings up until Henry VI often were guided by their own father, which makes sense given the laws of primogeniture. But King Henry V died before King Henry VI could really like be taught by him. And so he's a really young king, and he also just like does not know what to do because he has daddy issues, which, hey, whatever happens, life is life. But he's just like a really inept king, I guess. And he also apparently has like a phobia for like disagreement. Like he just hates it when people disagree with him, and I'm just always like, man, he really just like me. But but hey, it was a pretty good little read so far. I don't think I'll finish it. This is a library book, as you can see, a little sticker, and I don't think I'm gonna finish it. It was like an ADHD pick where you're like, oh, I want that book, and then you read a chapter and you're like, yeah, I'm no longer interested in that. But yeah, big chillin'. Let's move on. The next one, I'm currently working my way through it, is John Milton's Paradise Lost with the little like cool picture with the bird and the big ass snake and the naked lady. This is pretty cool. It's an epic poem. I think it's like 10 books or 12. Let me try to confirm. Yeah, it's 10 books of just like, blank verse, free verse. I can't remember which one. It's pretty cool. I like a lot of the language. Now, do I know what's going on all the time? Absolutely not. But I really, really like the part in book, I think it's 4, where, and this is terrible because I probably should remember, but I think it's like Adam or Eve or one of them. And they come upon a pool of water and they look into it and then they actually get scared because they're like, oh shit, like that's me. What's up? Just something about that goes deeper than just what I just said. Like you look in the mirror and you're like, oh shit, like that's me. What's up? But like that's relatable. Honestly, for real. I have a lot of mirrors in my house and I'm scared of mirrors low key because I'm like, I just like to picture myself looking a certain way. And then when I look in the mirror, I'm like, damn, that's sad. But hey, you got to move on. You got to push, you got to keep it pushing. But so far it's a really enjoyable read. Don't really know what's going on sometimes. Yeah, my cat just chimed in. I don't know if you heard it. Next up is something I got to break into because I'm slightly interested in theology just like not necessarily religion itself and like being a Christian or Buddhist or anything, but like the history of religion is often like kind of crazy and cool and sexy and cool, crazy, TLC, but crazy, sexy, cool, or whatever it's called. So what I meant to say was this is the Confessions of St. Augustine. I have a coworker who's read this or is reading it actually. And it sounds like it is just a bunch of confessions like, hey, God, I did this and did that. And like, thank you, God, like for blessing us. And allegedly there's confessions in that. Yeah, I need to get to this. I bought this off of shout out to like campus bookstores and the outside racks, because you can get like, obviously you can buy like academic versions of books like Penguin Classics, Oxford editions, stuffs like that, and it'll literally be like $1, and you can just like a fat stack of bitch and then like check it out and have a bunch of books and stuff. Next up is the little creepy guy, is the Portable Edgar Allan Poe. If you like scary stuff, my bad on the coughing. You'll probably rock with this. I was in a lecture one time in a poetry class where my professor went on about Edgar Allan Poe and his bio, and I think he was kind of a creepy guy, if I remember correctly, especially something with his cousin, if you know what I mean. And just the way The Raven is written and the metrics is like super sick. I forget the name for it, but just look up like the Raven metric or the Raven meter, METER, and just like do some research, and you'll find out like to write a poem like The Raven and have it be as cohesive as it is like actually insane. Because he has to work with like a certain syllable count and like certain steps, like unstressed and stressed syllables, and it's just like crazy. I haven't cracked this one open yet, but I probably will eventually. This is probably really all over the place, this video. I'm out of practice, like a bad nurse or something. Speaking of nurse, I've been watching The Pitt, so if you rock with The Pitt, I rock with you. Next book I gotta read is another campus bookstore pick, and this is The Great Escape, which is 4 slave narratives. Speaking like, I don't know, as I do like some, Native American and African American literature, and I was going to take a class this coming semester. It's summer right now, I think. And I had enrolled in a African American, like Black radicalism class, and then the class got canceled, and I don't know why. I wonder if the professor is just like, nah, or if he's moving, because I think he's like, it's the positions where you only work like year to year, I think. And so I was a little bit sad when that class, damn, I look fucking crazy. I was a little bit sad when the class got canceled, because I was like, damn, like I could have used that, because I'm just a dumb dude. But yeah, I want to break this open soon, but I don't really believe in like TBRs. I just kind of like mood read, and I try to like stick to one thing at a time. Damn, I don't know if I can go very long. My voice is getting worse and worse. But next book is the Stacy Schiff's Cleopatra, A Life. Another one I need to break into, just because Cleopatra low-key crazy and she low-key bad. Anybody who dies by a snake is a real one. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Cleopatra. What's funny is I think my only knowledge about Cleopatra is from Antony and Cleopatra, the play. And like that whole play is obviously, it's literally drama, but like both Antony and Cleopatra are like, they play up to their dramatics in the play, and it's like low-key addicting, because they're just like, oh, like this love I have for my partner is like, it's driving me insane, and then they do like insane things, and then they're like, oh, love is so crazy, and they're just like, been there. Next up we got King Henry, terrible glare. King Henry the Sixth. I can't read. I actually thought it was okay. I know this is part one. There's parts 2 and 3. I haven't gotten to part 2 and 3 yet. I might not, but this is just like more history about the houses and the king himself and Joan Puzzle or Puzzle. I don't know how you say it. It's fairly fun. There's like a really cool. There's a part where I forgot the character's name, but he's like arranged love, like an arranged marriage is just torture arranged, and I was like, damn, that's some real stuff. That's some real shit. But I don't know if I'll read part 2 and 3. I thought it was like cool because I'm kind of after the Shakespeare class I had, I'm kind of just like maybe I should just every time I go to the library or something, pick up a play and just like dive in and see what happens. Next thing I bought, I don't know if I showed it on my last video because I did like a bookshelf tour, like a really crappy one. And this is the John Ciardi translation of Divine Comedy. This is Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. I actually have Italian classes, and I thought this was the edition that had the Italian on like the left and the English on the right, but this is just straight translation. Allegedly, this is a good this is a good translation. But I kind of wanted the dual language one because I'm actively taking Italian in college right now. And I wanted to kind of like use that to be like, oh, this word means that word kind of deal in translation. I don't know how much longer I can do this. My voice is fading. This is terrible. Probably one of the better books I've read in a minute is Ernest J. Gaines' A Lesson Before Dying. It's a book about race relations in the South. I believe it's set in the 60s or 70s. There's there's kind of like two big characters. There's Grant, which is a teacher and teaches at a schoolhouse, and then there's Jefferson, which is a at the beginning of the book. This is not a spoiler. This happens in like the first 10 pages. Jefferson and a bunch of buddies go to a little general store, and I guess they had either been buying things on credit or just straight up like, hey, bro, I got you. I'll pay you money next time. And the clerk will let him go. But Jefferson and his two buddies go in there one day, and he's like, hey, one of Jefferson's friends is like, hey, I want some wine or bourbon or something. I got you next time, you know. And then he's like, no, you need to pay up. Long story short, there's a shooting, and everybody dies but Jefferson. But then he sees the cash register open because the clerk's gun was in the register. And he's like, oh, shit, like there's some money. I'm going to take that money because I'm like the only one alive right now. As soon as he starts taking the money, a bunch of white dudes come in. Jefferson is African American. I forgot to say that. It's relevant for the story. As soon as Jefferson starts taking the money, a bunch of white dudes come in. And they see him and they're like, oh shit, he shot everybody up, even though he was just there. But he shot everybody up and he gets tried. And because it's set in the South and 60s, they're like, oh, we don't really care if he didn't do it. He just was there, and we gotta, someone has to be guilty. And they straight up call Jefferson a hog and tell his own mother that, hey, if he dies, like, you won't really miss him that much. And then, so then here comes Grant as like the teacher of the youth in the town. And they're like, hey, Grant, you should go to the prison and talk to Jefferson, and tell him he's a man, not a hog, before they put him in the chair. And it kind of just goes from there. And Grant has a lot of unresolved stuff with a girlfriend and things of that nature. Real shit. But, oh crap, there's a bunch of books I stacked on top of something I needed to grab. But yeah, no, honestly, probably one of the better books I've read in a minute. Ernest J. Gaines is like low-key one of my favorite authors. I think he recently died like a couple years ago, or like 5, 6, or 7 years ago. Another book I'm currently making my way through this is just kind of like a dumb guilty pleasure book, and this is Sundiver. Wow, terrible glare again. Sundiver by David Brin. Just like one of those weird like fantasy books that I picked up from the library. You can tell by the cover. There's like talking dolphins and shit, and that's what's up. Surf's up, dog. But like No, it's pretty. I'm like one chapter in, and it's pretty cool. I just wanted something easy to read, like one of those turn your brain off kind of things, and it does. It gets the job done. And then probably the last little bit, I bought a new book of poetry. I've been selling a lot of books too. Damn, I'm dying. Is Water by Rumi, translated by Haliliza Ghaffori. I probably said that really wrong. Apologies. It's a book. A lot of the poems are about love, but it's like capital L love. Like it's Rumi was Persian, and I do not know anything about Persian history or religion. But from my guess, I think it is more of a polytheistic thing going on. And so love, like capital L love, is it's like an entity. Like it's not just like, oh, I love you, I love my wife or my girlfriend. It's like capital L love. And it's some of the poems are cool. I don't know what it is about me. I've always liked like shorter poems, and there's some in here that span a couple pages, and I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing, but when you have a poem, like there's some poems in here that are literally like 5 lines, and I feel like those poems for me personally always hit a lot harder than than like pages of poetry. Probably an ADHD thing. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for listening. I haven't posted in like 4 months, so if you're still around, I appreciate it. If not, that's cool too. My cats are driving me crazy. But yeah, that's about it. I like to get straight to the point and then peace out. So yeah, thanks for watching. My cat is on my desk and is making my stuff move. Now where's my mouse? Thanks.